Hello and welcome to our latest CorView release. This release is packed full with a ton of new features, so let's get started and jump right into it. Starting off, we can see here on the dashboard page, we've added a bunch of new functionality to some of our widgets on this page, namely the batteries widget and the sites with default names widget. If we click on the sites with default names widget, we can see here that it now takes us to the sites page. And with the toggle here selected, show sites with default names. Essentially what this means is that the name of the site matches the original ESN of the device, and that's what we constitute as a default name. Jumping back to the dashboard, we can see here in our demo company, we don't have any low or warning batteries right now, but if we did, we could click on it and again be taken to the site status page, where if we did have any batteries that were low or in warning status, this grid would all be pre-filtered according to those statuses. And we can verify this by clicking on our battery status, looking at the filter and seeing that, okay, low is checked. Same with if we had any warning batteries as well. So those are new features for the dashboard. With that, let's hop over to our readings grid and see what's new. From here, we can see, let's load up our Acme company. Perfect. And now we can see here, clicking on this add feature here, we select a group. Let's just select our default group and let's select a default site. We can see here now we're presented with all the pre-configured readings for this site. So if we wanted to, we could go ahead, simply type in and add a reading that we desire. Click submit, and within a few seconds, it should show up on the readings page. Also new in this release is the added filtering functionality. So case in point here, if we click on our battery status column, we've got a bunch of different statuses here that we can click on to sort by. We can also sort the grid on the different RSI status. So if we look here and click on OK, filter, everything will be filtered according to that status. So I will say that if the checkbox filter is not included on the column for this release, excuse me, stay tuned because it will be coming within our next release. And essentially the checkbox filter will apply to anything that has a predefined status attached to it. So anything with a variable number, reading, or date will not have this capability. Moving on from here, we have added export capabilities to all of the grids within CorView. Namely, all the grids on the control page before were missing this feature. I'm glad to say that they do have it now. So if we click on, for example, RMU historical info, give it a second to load, click on export, I see the same export functionalities that were present on the readings grid. Next, hopping over into the graph. You can see here, we've got our Acme company. We'll just select a default group here and a site. Note that a site is required in order to graph any data within the graph in CorView. And I'll go back. Oh, apologies. Go. Give us a second to load. Perfect. Now we can see all the data that shows up here. This is demo data, so it is not actual live data. As we can see here, give it 1 second here to load. When I'm hovering over any of the data points within the graph, we can see here all of the recording reading values that were recorded at that same time of that reading. So hovering over here, we can see our CP coupon was recorded, as well as any AC potential, DC currents, or instant DC potential, and their readings for that. So that is new for the graph in this release. Also in this release, new for the graph, is the fast sample readings. So if we click down here, and if this was a site that had an RDL1 associated with it, we could scroll through and select from the various different fast sample events, click on it, and the graph would be pre-filtered according to the event that we've selected. Coming within our next release, I'm happy to say that we will expand upon the graph export functionality. Right now, you can see if we click on the export, it'll just download a PNG image of the graph. Coming shortly before the end of the year, we will have the ability to export CSV readings from within the graph page as well as the PNG image. So stay tuned for that. As well, some of the other more notable things coming within the next release, the ability to move sites, RMUs, and groups to new companies will all be coming. We will be including a new user lookup page, as well as the ability to retrieve fast sample data from an RDL1 device. So all things, great things coming and within the pipeline. So thanks for being a part of the Mobiltex community, and stay tuned for all the new exciting features coming within the next CorView release. Cheers.